Good morning, everyone. It's close to 9 a.m., so at this time, I would ask if you're able to please rise to welcome our county councillors. Thank you. Please be seated. I'll call this meeting to order and we'll begin with the land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that this land on which we are gathered today is part of the ancestral land of the Chippewa, Ottawa, and Potawatomi peoples, collectively referred to as the Anishinaabe. It is through the connection of the Anishinaabe with the spirit of the land, water, and air that we recognize their unique cultures, traditions, and values. Together as treaty people, we have a shared responsibility to act with respect for the environment that sustains all life, protecting the future for generations to come. I would ask that we briefly stand for a moment of silent reflection. Thank you. I will now call the rolls. Councillor Agar. Present. Councillor Atkinson. Present. Councillor Bushi. I'm here. Councillor Bradley.
Present.
Councillor Broad. Present. Councillor Case. Present. Councillor Cook. Present. Councillor Dennis. Present. Councillor Ferguson. Present. Councillor Hand. Present. Councillor Loosely.
Present.
Councillor Marriott.
Present.
Councillor McRoberts.
Present.
Councillor Miller.
Present.
Councillor Sageman.
Present.
Councillor Veen.
Present.
Councillor White.
Present.
Thank you. We have quorum. Good morning. My name is Olivia Leger, and I'm the clerk for the County of Lambton. Welcome, members of council, County of Lambton staff, members of the media, and members of the public with us here today in council chambers, as well as following with us online. We have a busy agenda today. Momentarily, council will be asked to elect its next leadership team. That is to elect its 161st warden, together with its deputy warden, each for a 2-year term. Following those elections, members of council will be asked to strike its striking committee. Once those members have been identified for the striking committee, that committee will then meet here in council chambers. Following the striking committee, the committee of the whole will then meet here in council chambers as well. As we move forward with this agenda, there are a few things to note for council to remember. We are broadcasting live to our YouTube channel. Mics may be live, audio and video are streamed, and as such, please treat your mics as being live at all times this morning. So, our first item of business. For those of you following online, we are at agenda item 6 of today's agenda, and we will now proceed with the election of the warden. After council has elected its warden, the following will happen. County Council will be asked to pass a resolution appointing its warden for the 2025-2026 term. We will then proceed to the election of the deputy warden. After council has elected its deputy warden, council will then pass a resolution appointing its deputy warden for the 2025-2026 term. Following the election of the deputy warden, Her Worship Helen Gale will then swear in our newly elected warden. At that time, the warden will then take the chair for the remainder of the meeting. Now, let's proceed with nominations for the office of the warden. For those of you who may wish to be considered for this office, please do so by standing at this time. Thank you. We have Councillor Kevin Marriott. Is there anyone else who wishes to be considered for the office of the warden? Seeing none, I will close nominations, and given that there's no other candidates, we will proceed with the acclamation of the warden. Following that, we'll then proceed with the election of the deputy warden thereafter. However, before we do so, to chair that process, I would like to invite Mr. Bill Weber. Mr. Bill Weber was the County of Lambton's 157th and 158th warden, and he served in that position from 2017 to 2018, and again in 2019 and 2020. Mr. Weber was also on Council of Lambton Shores from 2000 to 2010, and served in the position of Mayor for Lambton Shores from 2010 to 2022. Welcome, Mr. Weber. Please take the chair.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for that welcome, and I'm very pleased to be able to return to this chair, if only temporarily. Because it's the 175th anniversary, I want to reflect back on some of the things and some of the traditions. County has seen many changes over the 175-year history. But many of the traditions established at its inception continue to be maintained. For 175 years, designated elected representatives from each lower tier municipality have worked collaboratively to provide public service to meet the important needs of county residents. For 175 years, these representatives have continued to gather within a county council chambers to make decisions regarding county financing and services as a unified federation. Today, as in the past, you are coming together as a unified body of respected individuals with a common interest in the safety and prosperity of all Lambton County residents. For 175 years, these members have selected a warden and deputy warden to preside over council meetings, represented the county and provincial leadership to this body, provide leadership to this body. For much of that time, the ceremonial tradition of wearing the tricorn hat and gown has been maintained by the warden, consistent with the traditional dress of the speakers in both the federal parliament and Ontario's provincial parliament. I believe it is important to maintain traditions that represent and reflect the importance of the task you are sworn to uphold. Today, as we participate in this election of the 161st Warden of Lambton County, it is important to celebrate these important traditions and the past achievements of the County Federation over its 175-year history, while also looking forward to County's promising future. I could not talk about the promising future without a shout out to the county staff. Lambton County is fortunate to have a great team making the decisions of the elected representative come to reality. Kudos to the staff here. Honoring years ago tradition does not say new ones cannot be started. I believe following this election, there will be a group photo taken following the election process, and I think this should become a new tradition. Thanks again for your service to others and for listening to me from the chair again. Now on with the business of the day. So we have the item number 8 on is election of the warden. Speeches by aspiring wardens. We're going to 9. Okay, we're moving on to item 9. Unless Kevin wants to come and talk for 3 minutes. So I would call for a motion that the new warden be elected, Kevin Marriott, be elected for 2025-2026. I'm going to go with Councillor White and Councillor Loosely. Discussion? No chance, eh? All in favor of that? That is carried. So we're moving on to item number 11. Deputy Warden for 2025. I would call for
Thank you, Chair Weber. Congratulations to the newly elected warden, Warden Kevin Marriott. Warden Marriott. Warden Marriott will serve as the County of Lambton's 161st warden. We will now proceed to the election of the deputy warden. And for those of you following online, we are at agenda item 10, and I'll first address the election rules. Those wishing to be considered for the office of deputy warden shall do so by simply standing when requested. The deputy warden is elected by secret ballot. Each councillor is entitled to 1 vote, and when the vote proceeds, you will vote from your desk. For Councillor Bradley attending online, when the voting commences, staff member Lena Kerwin will enter committee room 3, where she'll proceed to call you at the number provided to secure your vote. After the vote has been confirmed and written on a ballot, Ms. Kerwin will enter council chambers to place the ballot in your ballot box, on your behalf. Councillor Bradley, please proceed to turn off your camera and mic at this time. For the remaining councillors attending in person, the ballots will be distributed to you today by our 2 scrutineers. Our 2 scrutineers are Councillor Cook and Councillor Hand. So Councillor Cook will be distributing and collecting the ballots on this side of council chambers, while Councillor Hand will be distributing and collecting on this side. The scrutineers will collect the ballots within their ballot box. Once all the ballots are collected, the scrutineers, together with myself, will then enter committee room 3 to count those ballots. The candidate who secures the most votes is elected deputy warden. There is no need for a majority. If after taking the vote, 2 or more candidates are tied for first, a second and final ballot will be held between those who are tied for first. The others are eliminated from the election. If after the second ballot there continues to be a tie, the successful candidate shall be determined by the clerk by placing the names of the candidates on an equal size paper in a box and the first name being drawn. The first name that's drawn is the new elected deputy warden. Does council have any questions before we open up nominations? Not seeing any, so at this time I will open up nominations for the office of deputy warden. As mentioned, for those of you wishing to be considered for this office, please do so by standing. Thank you. Are there any other councillors who wish to be considered for this office? I'm not seeing any, so I will close nominations for the office of deputy warden. The candidates for deputy warden are Councillor Jeff Agar, Mayor of St. Clair Township, and City County Councillor Brian White of the City of Sarnia. You may sit, and we will proceed with Mr. Weber as the chair.
I would ask at this time the candidates for deputy warden to come forward, starting alphabetically with Councillor Agar for a 2-minute speech.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to run for the position of Deputy Warden of Lambton County. It is an honor to work with such a distinguished team here at County Council. The key word in saying that is team. We must respect and all work together to ensure that all our municipalities succeed and grow. In my last 2 years as mayor of St. Clair Township, I have made many connections that I feel could aid with many issues we face today. In my mind, the number one thing about the deputy warden position is to relieve some of the commitments off the warden's agenda so that he has more time to pursue other important issues. If you're not able and willing to make the effort and time commitment to achieve this, the team I've been talking about will no longer be able to meet our obligations. I am asking for your support and trust to give our warden all the help he needs to successfully fulfill the duties to lead Lambton County into the future. Thank you.
I would now call on Councillor White for his comments.
Thank you, Chair Weber. It's great to see you back up here. Thank you, members of County Council, staff, members of the public. I've had the distinct privilege of serving as Deputy Warden for the last 2 years, and I have to say it's been a truly humbling experience. Learning under the tree of Deputy Warden has been one of the most profound experiences of my life. With his leadership, his kindness, and his general sense of duty, it has allowed me to grow in my role, both as a city councillor in Sarnia, but here as a member of this team as well. And upon Kevin's texts, I've made myself available to serve, to fill in for him, but also to work alongside of him. One of the greatest joys that we've had has been to sit together at tables and put forward the business, the needs, the requests of this council with cabinet ministers, with parliamentary assistants, with members of other levels of government to ensure that the needs and the struggles that we are facing here in the County of Lambton are met. To the best of our ability, I believe that we've done a pretty good job as a team. And with respect to the staff, they've been the biggest part of that. So I continue to ask for your support, as I have over the last 2 years, to serve for you, to learn under Kevin's leadership, and to continue to be ready when asked to either step into the chair here or to serve as the leader of this council at so many wonderful events that I've had the privilege of serving at over the last 2 years. So I appreciate, no matter how this election proceeds, we are part of a great team here at the County of Lambton, and I know Councillor Agar will serve with dignity and respect. Respectfully, I ask for the same privilege as I've had over the last 2 years. Thank you.
So I would now call on the scrutineers to come forward to collect the ballots. Remember to write legibly. I don't know if there's any doctors out there, but not prescription. Anybody aware of the record and number of minutes that it has taken to count ballots in the past? I know there has been, I guess another tradition is to take some time to count the ballots, but I'm sure they're working hard back there. Are you ready? The winner of the 2025-2026 Deputy Warden's election is Councillor Agar. So we need a motion. I would call on a motion to confirm Councillor Agar as Deputy Warden, Councillor Broad and Councillor Dennis. Questions? Why did it take so long? You have a question?
I have to send the e-file now, but anyways, I just wanted to say thank you all very much, and I'm looking forward to the next 2 years. So thank you.
All in favor of that motion? That is carried. I would also call on a motion to destroy the ballots. Councillor Cook and Councillor Hand. All in favor of that? That is carried. Thank you very much. I think that ends my temporary time up here at the front. It's a pleasure to sit in this chair. Just a comment that the warden will be the longest serving warden at 6 years in a 175-year history. That also gives me the honor of being the longest past warden serving in 175 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Weber, for chairing that process and overseeing the election of the deputy warden. At this point in time, we are at agenda item 13, where we will see Warden Marriott being gowned and escorted upstairs for that purpose. Following the gowning, Warden Marriott will be piped into council chambers. So at this point in time, to do that, I would ask that our former warden, Bill Weber, join Warden Marriott to be gowned upstairs for that purpose. So Mr. Weber is wearing a few hats this morning.
I, Kevin Marriott, having been elected to the office of Warden in the County of Lambton, do solemnly promise and declare that
I, Kevin Marriott, having been elected to the office of Warden in the County of Lambton, do solemnly promise and declare that
I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability.
I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability.
I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof to the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner.
I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner.
I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act.
I will disclose any pecuniary interests, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act.
I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty, King Charles III,
I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III.
and I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
And I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Thank you.
At this point in time, is there anyone who wishes to make a statement or presentation to the warden? Not seeing any, I will pass it off to the warden for his speech.
Good morning, Lambton County councilors, staff, and guests. I'm honored and very thankful for council's confidence in allowing me to serve as warden for the next 2 years that will take us to the end of this term of council. I promise to give as much of my energy and dedication as possible. The financial challenges continue to get even more challenging. Affordable housing, the research park, long-term care homes, and the investment in added safety measures and roundabouts to improve safety at certain intersections, just to name a few. Staff has been working and will continue to work on Budget 2025 which is proving to be the most challenging budget ever. It was hoped the council could table the budget a month earlier for 2025. That has been delayed a year. Council will see the draft in February with consideration in March, as in the past for 2025. Now more than ever, council must come together as a unified team to address the challenges ahead. You have my commitment that I will continue collaborating with all members of council and ensuring our work in this chamber is guided by fairness and respect. Also, it can be hard, but we must not vote only for what is good for the municipality who we represent here, but for the good of all of Lambton County as a whole. In closing, I would like to commend and thank Andrew Meyer and all his cultural services staff for everything to celebrate Lambton's 175th anniversary this year. As well, thank all staff for everything in their regular day-to-day dedication to Lambton County. I would like to wish council, staff, and everyone in Lambton County all the best as we head into the Christmas season and wish everyone good health and prosperity for 2025. Thank you very much. Okay, so as I mentioned, the 175th anniversary in 2024, the Corporation of the County of Lambton commemorated its 175th anniversary, celebrating its role as a unified federation of local municipalities that have worked together with a spirit of collaboration, innovation, and ambition for generations. From its establishment as a municipal corporation in 1849 to the present day, Lambton County has flourished, guided by the decision-making and contributions of generations of men and women who have served in the chambers as elected officials. 2024 presented an opportunity to not only mark the milestone anniversary, but to celebrate the achievements, resilience, and spirit that have defined the proud heritage of Lambton County. As these celebrations draw to a close, we look forward to the corporation's promising future as a united government that works collectively to promote economic growth, environmental stewardship, and an enhanced quality of life for the residents of Lambton County. At this time, I'd like to recognize the past wardens who are present. We have several past members of County Council in attendance with us today, and I would like to acknowledge. Past councilors, please stand as I read your name, and I would ask the audience to hold applause until all the names have been read. We have, for 1993, Mr. Owen Byers. 1995, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2005, Patricia Davidson. 2003, 2004, 2013, and 2014, Todd Case. 2011, 2012, Steve Arnold. 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2020, Bill Weber. And myself, 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024. Thank you very much. At this time, I'd ask the council to gather behind me for our photo.
Down the side, wherever.
Doesn't matter. Thank you.
Hey, congrats.
Thank you. Sorry, Brian.
It's politics.
I know.
Is this okay to stay here?
Good. Yeah, anywhere that fits. I think I stay sitting.
Hey, how you doing down there?
My voice is terrible.
That's because I'm short. It's all right. Look that way, Dave.
One more. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, I've never been up here. Congratulations.
You can stay.
No, it's fine.
Break, right? We're going to have 30 minutes for reception and refreshments now, before we do the appointments. I better continue. After our photo, which we just did, the main lobby for placement of our 175th anniversary time capsule. To conclude our celebrations this year, staff have prepared a time capsule that features various items documenting Lambton's 175th anniversary. The time capsule will be sealed and set in the wall in the lobby to be opened in 2049 as part of the county's 200th anniversary. Thank you. We'll meet in the lobby. Welcome back. I'm glad that some decided to stay. We've got a few people that had to leave for one reason or another. We're at agenda item number 22, and at this time, I turn it over to Ms. Leger, please.
Yes, thank you, Warden Marriott. As mentioned, we're at agenda item 22. So this is where County Council will select its appointees to the striking committee. So at this time, each municipal group will gather here in council chambers, select your appointee, come back, advise me, and then those members identified for the striking committee will then meet. Do we have any councillors online? So as a reminder for the group, your municipal groups are as follows. So Group A is Brooke Elvinston, Don Euphemia, and St. Clair. Group B is Sarnia. Group C, Enniskillen, Oil Springs, Petrolia, and Point Edward. And then Group D is Lambton Shores, Plimpton, Wyoming, and Warwick. So please proceed to sit with your groups and appoint your appointees.
Have we made our decisions? Okay. We're still waiting on quadrant D to make their decision so we can move forward. Oh, okay. Okay, then take your seats, please. We have to turn it back over. Thank you, Councillor Sageman. I'll turn it back over to Ms. Leger, please.
Yes, thank you, Warden Marriott. So we'll start with the first quadrant, Brooke Elvinston, Don Euphemia, St. Clair Municipal Group. Who is your appointee to the striking committee? Councillor Ferguson? And from the city of Sarnia? Councillor McRoberts, thank you. And from Enniskillen, Oil Springs, Petrolia, and Point Edward? Councillor Hand? And then lastly, Lambton Shores, Plimpton, Wyoming, and Warwick? Councillor Atkinson? Thank you. Okay, so in terms of our agenda now, the striking committee will now meet and make a number of various appointments. So at this time, I would ask that the members identified for the striking committee remain here in council chambers. Those councillors not on the striking committee, you may remain in your seats, or you can excuse yourself to the lounge or audience. For those councillors that do leave, we will call you back once the striking committee has conducted its business. All right, welcome members of the striking committee for 2025-2026. First, I'll need a motion from the group to appoint the membership itself. So that is Councillor Ferguson, Councillor McRoberts, Councillor Hand, Councillor Atkinson, and Warden Marriott. Moved by Councillor Atkinson, seconded by Councillor Hand. All in favor? Thank you. Now we'll need a motion to appoint the chair for the striking committee. Are there any nominees, or how would you like to proceed? Councillor Ferguson?
I'd like to appoint Kevin Marriott.
Warden Marriott, would you like to chair?
Sure.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor McRoberts? All in favor?
And that brings us to what number? What number? Oh. Sorry. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we are at 1B on the striking committee, which is to elect a vice chair. Councillor Hand. I nominate. Okay. Okay. Councillor Ferguson, do you accept? Okay. Oh yeah, all in favor? Opposed, if any? That's carried. Your vote doesn't count, Councillor Ferguson. Item number 2, appointment to Tourism Sarnia-Lambton. We need one member in addition to myself for the 2-year term. Councillor Hand. Okay. For that opportunity. Sure. And Councillor Atkinson.
Question, Warden, how many do we appoint to that committee?
Just one, along with myself.
Okay, and it has to be somebody from this group, or there's some others, because I've had others that have expressed.
Oh, it can be through the whole council, so should we call them back in? No. Oh, through the whole striking committee. Yeah, it is the striking committee, sorry.
Okay. Thank you.
So, all in favor of Councillor McRoberts? That's carried. Congratulations. Next is appointment to Creative County Committee. So we would appoint 4 members from each of the area along with myself for the 2-year term. So that would be Councillor McRoberts. Councillor White. Okay. Councillor Ferguson?
So that's from that secretary.
Right.
Nominate Councillor Agar from our sector.
Okay. Councillor Atkinson.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Case.
Okay. And one more. Councillor Hand? Do you accept? Oh, you need to nominate somebody, sorry. Okay. So we can accept nominations for somebody that's not here and then address that when they come back, unless you're interested in it, Councillor Hand. Okay, so we'll take that nomination. Councillor Ferguson?
Can we have nominations
Yeah, I'll let Ms. Leger to speak.
So these motions will be reported out to County Council for final consideration and approval. At that time, if Councillor Veen does not wish to sit on this committee, he can raise that, and then at that time, we can appoint an alternative from that quadrant.
Okay. Yeah, so all in favor of those nominations? Opposed, if any? That's carried. Number 4, appointment to Lambton County Safety and Wellbeing Leadership Team. So we would appoint one member to the Lambton Community Safety and Wellbeing Leadership Team for a 2-year term. Look for nominations for that. Sure.
How many meetings a year is that?
Ms. Leger, please.
So the committee meets quarterly, and the committee acts in compliance with the Community Safety and Policing Act and the Ontario Safety Act. The committee is guided by the plan that was implemented by collaboration with the county and member municipalities in 2022, essentially with the objective of achieving safer and sustainable communities. But to answer your question, it's quarterly.
Do we have any? Councillor Atkinson?
I'd like to nominate Councillor Station.
Okay. All in favor of that? Opposed, if any? That's carried. And that brings us to number 5, appointment to the Audit Committee. So we would need to appoint 4 members in addition to myself for a 1-year term. Councillor Hand, please. Okay, Councillor Lucy's been nominated. Councillor Ferguson?
Nominate Councillor Miller.
Okay. Councillor Miller's nominated. Councillor Atkinson?
I'll nominate Councillor Cook.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? One more, please. Yeah, so just to clarify, they do not need to represent each quadrant. Councillor Ferguson?
I would put my name forward if we have no other names coming up.
Okay. So I look for a motion for those 4. Councillor Atkinson moves. Councillor Hand seconds. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. So we will, number 6, we'll make recommendation to County Council that the appointments of the striking committee minutes dated December 4th, 2024 be approved and presented. Councillor Ferguson? Councillor Atkinson, seconds, all in favor. That's carried. Thank you. And do we need a motion to adjourn? Councillor Hand? Yeah, committee. No problem. Motion to adjourn. Councillor McRoberts and Councillor Ferguson seconds, all in favor. That's carried. Thank you. Yeah, we'll call back everybody. I think maybe that's where everybody's working on it. Thank you. Ms. Leger has some work to do before we get started. Just need a little bit of time to catch up before we report to you. Sorry about that. Okay, we will reconvene, and I'll ask Ms. Leger to report on the motions of the striking committee, please.
Yes, thank you, Warden Marriott. The striking committee met this morning at 10:52, concluded its meeting just a few minutes ago at 11:02. I will read out the minutes of that meeting for council's consideration and approval. Members appointed to the committee are Councillor Ferguson, Councillor McRoberts, Councillor Hand, Councillor Atkinson, and Warden Marriott. All members were present. There were no regrets. I acted as the secretary for that meeting. The first resolution adopted by the committee, moved by Councillor Atkinson, seconded by Councillor Hand, was to appoint the members to the 2025-2026 striking committee. Again, that's Councillor Ferguson, Councillor McRoberts, Councillor Hand, Councillor Atkinson, and Warden Marriott. The second resolution adopted by the committee, moved by Councillor Ferguson, seconded by Councillor McRoberts, was to appoint Warden Marriott to act as the chair of that committee. The third resolution adopted by the committee, moved by Councillor Ferguson, seconded by Councillor McRoberts, was to appoint Councillor Ferguson to act as the vice chair of that committee. The fourth resolution adopted by the committee, moved by Councillor Hand, seconded by Councillor Ferguson, was to appoint Councillor McRoberts to the Tourism Sarnia-Lambton Board, in addition to the warden for a 2-year term. The fifth resolution adopted by the committee, moved by Councillor Hand, seconded by Councillor Ferguson, was to appoint the following councillors to the Creative County Committee, namely Councillor White, Deputy Warden Agar, Councillor Case, and Councillor Veen. They will serve in addition to the warden, each for a 2-year term. The sixth resolution adopted by the committee, moved by Councillor Atkinson, seconded by Councillor Hand, was to appoint Councillor Sageman to the Community Safety and Wellbeing Leadership Team for a 2-year term. The second last resolution adopted by the committee, moved by Councillor Atkinson, seconded by Councillor Hand, was to appoint the following councillors to the Audit Committee. That is Councillor Loosely, Councillor Miller, Councillor Cook, and Councillor Ferguson. And they will serve in addition to the warden for a 1-year term. The last resolution adopted by the committee, moved by Councillor Ferguson, seconded by Councillor Atkinson, was for those appointments to be presented to you, County Council, for your consideration and approval.
Councillor Case, please.
Yeah, if I could, Mr. Warden, I'd like to speak to this. I was put on the Creative County Committee. I was on there last term, and I have a conflict with our laws meetings, always at the same time. Same day, we tried to work through it. Unfortunately, it wasn't going to work. So I still have that same conflict. So I would appreciate maybe if somebody else could sit on there that would be able to make the meetings. I think maybe if I could, Dan may be available, not to put you on the spot, Dan, but I know that the other 2 gentlemen that are on part of our group also have that same laws commitment. So I just wanted to, I don't know if this is the right time to do it, but I'd rather get it straightened around now than have to do it later on. So thank you.
Now is the time. Thank you, Councillor Case. So is that a motion for Councillor Sageman, or should I ask his ability to accept it or not? Okay, so you make that a motion, Councillor Case?
I will, thank you.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor McRoberts. All in favor? That's carried. Are there any other concerns with the appointments? Seeing none? Yeah, so we need a motion now to approve it as a package. Councillor McRoberts and Councillor Ferguson, all in favor? That's carried. So now we can adjourn to Committee of the Whole. There's no motion needed. And item number 1 for Committee of the Whole is appointment to the County of Lambton Agricultural Advisory Committee. Councillor Ferguson. Okay. Councillor Atkinson, do you accept that? I do, Ward. Thank you. Motion. Yeah, sorry, seconder for that. Councillor Case. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Item number 2, appointment to the County of Lambton Accessibility Advisory Committee. So we need 1 member to act as chair on the County of Lambton Accessibility Advisory Committee for a 1-year term. Councillor Atkinson.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Cook, please.
Okay. Councillor Cook, do you accept that? And seconded by Councillor Sageman. All in favor? That's carried. Number 3, appointment to the Woodlands Hearings Board. 1 member, in addition to warden and deputy warden, for a 1-year term. Councillor Agar. Okay. Councillor Ferguson, do you accept that? Do I have a seconder? Councillor McRoberts, all in favor? That's carried. And number 5, appointment to the Adult Enrichment Center Advisory Committee. 1 member to act as chair on the Adult Enrichment Center Advisory Committee for a 2-year term. Councillor Hand? Okay. Do we have any Okay. Okay, moved by Councillor Lucy, second by Councillor Ferguson. All in favor? That's carried. Yeah, appointment to the Lambton Seniors Advisory Committee. 1 member for a 2-year term. Any nominations? Is there anybody that's absent that might want it?
I nominate Jeff Agar.
Okay, question by Councillor Atkinson.
Warden, could you, somebody explain what that committee does? Because I'm having some concerns because I know that one of my members from our community was on that committee and recently resigned. And I just wondered where we're at with it or what's the mandate of that committee?
Okay, Ms. Leger, please.
So I can speak to the objective of the committee. It reports to County Council on issues that essentially affect seniors within Lambton County by acting as a liaison for seniors to essentially enrich their health and quality of life for all of those seniors, soliciting input and acting as a representative for those issues, and then finally addressing all other issues as identified by the council or committee.
So we had a nomination.
We nominate Deputy Warden Agar.
Deputy Warden, do you accept that? Okay, do we have a seconder for that? Councillor Ferguson, seconds. All in favor? That's carried, thank you. That brings us to number 6, make recommendation to County Council that the appointments of the Committee of the Whole minutes dated December the 4th be approved as presented. Councillor Cook and Councillor Sageman, seconds. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. And that brings us back to adjournment for Committee of the Whole. Councillor Hand and Councillor Bean, seconds. All in favor? That's carried. back to open council. Yeah, and if we could just give the clerk some time, she needs to catch up the scribe. Thank you. Okay. Back to item number 28, we'll reconvene regular council. And number 29, Committee of the Whole reports. The clerk reports the motions from the Committee of the Whole meeting. Ms. Leger, please.
Thank you, Warden Marriott. The Committee of the Whole met this morning, commenced at 11:09 and concluded its meeting at 11:13. I will read out the minutes of that meeting for Council's consideration and approval. All councillors were present, save and except for Councillor Bushey, Councillor Bradley, Councillor Broad, Councillor Dennis, and Councillor White. I acted as secretary for that meeting. The first resolution adopted by the committee, moved by Councillor Ferguson, seconded by Councillor Case, was to appoint Councillor Atkinson to the Agricultural Advisory Committee for a one-year term. The second resolution adopted by the committee, moved by Councillor Atkinson, seconded by Councillor Sageman, was to appoint Councillor Cook to the County of Lambton Accessibility Advisory Committee for a one-year term. The third resolution adopted by the committee, moved by Deputy Warden Agar, seconded by Councillor McRoberts, was to appoint Councillor Ferguson to the Woodlands Hearing Board for a one-year term. The fourth resolution adopted by the committee, moved by Councillor Case, seconded by Councillor Ferguson, was to appoint Deputy Warden Agar to the Lambton Senior Advisory Committee for a two-year term. The fifth resolution adopted by the committee, moved by Councillor Loosely, seconded by Councillor Ferguson, was to appoint Councillor Hand to the Adult Enrichment Center Advisory Committee for a two-year term. The last resolution, moved by Councillor Cook, seconded by Councillor Sageman, was that those appointments be presented to you, County Council, for consideration and approval.
Thank you, Ms. Leger. Item number 30, motion to authorize the clerk to prepare the bylaws covering the appointments of warden and deputy warden for 2025 to 2026. Approve. Yeah. Oh, okay, sorry. So back up, we need a motion to approve those appointments for Committee of the Whole. Councillor Loosely and Councillor Atkinson, all in favor? That's carried. Now look for a motion to authorize the clerk to prepare the bylaws covering the appointments of warden and deputy warden for 2025 to 2026. For a motion for that, Councillor Case, Councillor Miller, all in favor? That's carried. That brings us to number 31, notice of bylaws.
Thank you. It is moved by Councillor Hand, seconded by Councillor Cook, that bylaws 1 and 2 of 2025 be taken as read a first and second time.
All in favor? Opposed, if any? That's carried.
It is moved by Councillor Hand, seconded by Councillor Cook, that bylaws 1 and 2 of 2025, as circulated, be taken as read a third and final time.
All in favor? That be carried. Thank you. And that brings us to item number 32, adjournment. Moved by Councillor Bean, seconded by Councillor Loosely. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you very much. And O Canada, please.
Oh, Canada.